So why is it crucial? When I look at all of that and I try to sort of bring it down to a 9-minute discussion, there are 3 reasons. The 3 reasons are: 1, it's demanded; 2, it's required; and 3rd, it's impactful. So these are the 3 reasons why it's crucial. It's being demanded by the stakeholders of whatever organization you work with, small or large, be it clients, be it current employees, future employees. So the world's looking at this. I wake up every morning and scan the press. I look at HBR, Financial Times, law.com, lawyer.com, whatever you look at, it comes up very, very often. Diversity and inclusion. There is scrutiny, organizations are being looked at, leaders are being looked at, and there's constant analysis. So it's demanded. The heat is on. Those of us who've been working for a long, long time welcome that. Yeah, it's time. It's really time. And for us, from a business perspective, from a consultancy perspective, we've never had more demand than we have now. So that's one reason. It's demanded. You have to do it. It isn't really a choice anymore. The second reason why diversity and inclusive is important, from my perspective, it's required. It's required for retention and progression of the best talent. If we think we are retaining best talent without looking at it from an inclusive lens, we're failing ourselves. We are not actually looking at the largest talent pool. If I look at so I just want to come back to the demanded piece. Actually, there was something, I had a quote from the 170 general counsels had written in 2019 to law firms. So just want to bring it to the legal sector. And they had said this in their letter. Do many of you read or heard about that letter that was penned? No? All right, so yeah, one person. In 2019, 170 general counsels wrote a letter to law firms requesting more attention to diversity and inclusion. And that signaled the urgency. So clients are looking at it. A lot of the law firms I work with, lawyers I work with, say that they're actually sent away from their clients if they don't send a pitch team that is diverse. So what the letter said was, and I will quote here, "We are disappointed to see that many law firms continue to promote partner classes that in no way reflect the demographic composition of entering associate classes. Partnership classes remain largely male and largely white." So in 2019, clients were saying this. Moving on to the second reason, it's not only being demanded by your clients, it's required. According to the Solicitors Regulation Authority and various other sources, women make up over 50% of law firm associates, and over 3/4, over 70% of the business professions and support staff are women. What's the percentage of women in partnership? Yeah, 30%. So it's around 30%, and it varies by size of organization. On top of this, one of the other pieces of information that's important is Black lawyers are 4 times as likely to leave law firms than other ethnicities. And this attrition happens at trainee level, at 3 years qualified, 7 years qualified. So throughout the life cycle of an employee, attrition is much higher for a certain group. And I'm very interested in that. Why is that? And my work as an executive coach is really working. I focus on minority ethnic talent. I work a lot with Black women. I work with Black women in asset management. I'm working on a project to have 100 Black professors. There are only something like 30 Black professors in the entire UK right now. So we don't have enough data in the law firms. I don't know exactly how many Black female partners there are, but the Black lawyers are leaving. And at one point, there were less than 10 Black lawyers with over 10 years of experience. So there's attrition. So it is required. Inclusion is required. Now, let me tell you a little more about this attrition. Why is this attrition? What's happening? So in the last 10 years, I have coached over 75 women and minority people, minority ethnic lawyers. And over again, the discussion that comes up in executive coaching is, I have to make a choice. I have to make a trade-off. I have to understand this tension between what is important to me personally and what is required of me professionally. How can I be authentic and how can I conform to what is required here? How can I balance what I need for my personal life and what's required of me here? And this question and this tension is beyond sometimes it's untenable. Even as a coach, I listen to this and I'm thinking, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to work with this. The issues are clearly structural, and I hope in the young baby, I've forgotten her name by the time Emily grows up, we won't be asking those questions, and she won't be facing any of those tensions. So as a coach, I do know that these are the tensions, and sometimes it's untenable. I spoke to a female lawyer today who said, yeah, I went on a career break and I decided not to go back. I started my own business. I did something else. And I hear that story over and over again. So that's where the talent is going. One of my coaches said, well, if I ask for flexible working, I will signal a lack of ambition. I know I will be sidelined. I will not be on the partner track. Another one of my coaches talked about going into a partner's office, and he looks up to her with a big smile and says, I think we're ready. I think we're going to put you up for partnership. You're going on the slate very soon. And she was thrilled. And then he said, just one thing, don't go and get pregnant anytime soon. She happened to be pregnant in her early stages of pregnancy at the moment. Yeah, so you've all reacted. I still have that physical reaction when I think of it. This wasn't that long ago. This happens, right? So what's happening? Why are we having attrition? Why are we losing talent? Another one of my coaches was sent on a secondment to an office in Europe, outside the UK, from the UK to an office in Europe. She had a special subject matter expertise. She's a Black woman. She arrived there. Her subject matter expertise was required for something that the office was working on. The senior partner took her aside and said, look, we're glad you're here. We really want to work with you. We want your knowledge, but I want you to know that there are people in this office who will struggle to listen to you, who will struggle of you being here. They will not feel comfortable being led by someone like you. At that very moment for her, she said, it became salient. It became obvious. I am the only person of color. I am a Black woman in an office that's never worked with a Black woman. And at this, in our coaching sessions, she started her anger was there. And she said, why do I have to carry the burden of their biases? Why could this partner not speak to those people who have this issue? Why was it mine? Was it, I just want you to know, I'm doing you a favor. I'm letting you know. I guess in a way, knowing reality is always better than not knowing it. But the inclusion would have meant partner one doesn't really devalue someone because they're pregnant. Partner two doesn't push the burden on the individual to manage the tension of someone else's biases, which are misplaced. And that's the sort of thing that drives people away. I'm probably way over time, so I'll rush it along. So these stories of bullying and microaggressions really are at the source of the problem, as well as organizational housework. Women get a lot of the non-promotable tasks. I sometimes have three-way sessions: the partner, the female colleague, and the coach, which is me. And we often get admission from the partner that, yeah, actually, a lot of the stuff I've asked this person to do isn't the stuff that is counted when we look at promotion potential. But we do need it. We need someone to mentor the groups. We need someone to work with the juniors. We need someone to write that documentation, but it isn't the sexy stuff. It isn't the visibility stuff. So that's the other reason. Look at work allocation, look at microaggressions, look at bullying, look at the underlying mindset around race, around gender. So the third reason, so those are the requirements, why it's required in order to have a good workplace. But finally, inclusion is impactful. Inclusion makes a difference. Inclusion and inclusive partners who behave differently than the partners I've described to you, inclusive leaders who can work with difference, will actually create a better workplace for all. In fact, and what research shows us that with inclusion, we have improved team performance, we have better decision making, we're more likely to arrive at the accurate solution, greater innovation, more retention, and more fair progression.